You've got to hand it to them. They're not going to give up without a fight. The European overlords we have wisely voted to overthrow are coming up with a dizzying raft of ideas designed to act like a smoke grenade and mask everything and confuse everyone. Their latest wheeze is that British citizens will be able to pay a fee so they could remain European citizens after Brexit. They'd then be free to enjoy freedom of movement and work rights across the continent, and also to vote in European elections. I know, the excitement is quite heady, while the rest of us British citizens would actually respect the fact that we've voted to leave. The torturous Brexit process will have more twists and turns than an episode of House of Cards, and plenty more deceit and subterfuge too. But this is nothing more than a divisive plot hatched by a hideous cabal of European politicians, frozen like rabbits in the headlights of the oncoming destruction of their calamitous European project.
I think we have to accept that what happened during the referendum was, by definition, divisive. You know, when you've got almost a 50-50 split within the country. Almost everybody in the UK has some relationship with Europe, whether they own property, whether they go on holiday, whatever it is.
They own property. Dear God, you might very well.
Well, but there's a lot of people that have properties in
Europe.
It's still, and lots of, obviously, the majority of the country would take a holiday at some point in Europe. So effectively, what we have to do is have some relationship with Europe going forward, even though we've left, and that's going to involve some sort of health insurance if you're on holiday. And the reason I mention homeowners or people that expats that live abroad at the moment, insurance for health, property. So however this plays out, we are going to have some form of visa health card in order to access treatment when we're overseas. That's inevitable. So what I think about this is, whilst I don't necessarily agree with all of the things that you listed, we are going to have to allow people to have some European rights, given the fact that we want to interact with Europe anyway.
But hundreds of thousands of go to Florida every year, and it seems to work all right. But we have a perfectly decent relation. We don't have to have associate membership of the US, which is what this idiot is offering. Yeah, but
you still have to have some paid visa or a medical insurance that covers.
I think it's called.
Sorry, and medical insurances that cover. So isn't this just the same thing?
No, it's paying. And by the way, I had the politician on my show. It was fascinating to talk to him. His name is Charles Dorrans, and he is a Luxembourgish MEP, and he's the one who's putting it forward, and it is voted for next month. Yeah. It doesn't mean it will happen, but so I asked him a couple of questions because I have a brief journalistic training. I asked him, how much is it going to cost to be an associate? We haven't got to that detail yet. OK. How long have I... And I said, I understand, because interestingly, when the idea came up, the two people who work with me at the radio station, both considerably young, both young women, I'll pay. They'll say, I'll pay. I want to stay European. I want to stay European. So I might want to go and work there. So I then said to the European politician, how long have you got to be in it to benefit from it? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, say I want to set up a business in south of France, right? Have I got to have paid my associate membership for 1 year, 5 years? So we haven't looked at that either. This is what these European... They have these mad, fanciful ideas that they will spend tens of thousands of euros debating, and they're just not practical, Graham.
They're just not practical. I deeply resent the fact that 52% of the people in this country can take away... Not even of the people, 52% of those who voted can take away my European citizenship.
So you'd pay this?
I'd pay this.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Look, you look at the number of people who've tried to become Irish in the months since the referendum because they want to be Irish. Why? Because they want to stay, they want a European passport, and they want to be European.
What have you lost, Greg?
What have I lost? I'm not a little Englander.
No, hang on.
Which is what,
tell me what
I think you all are.
Don't tell me what you're not.
What have you lost? What have I lost? I want to be European. I want freedom of movement around Europe. For me,
Greg, you still show your passport when you go to France?
No,
yes, you do.
Sure, it's a European passport. I don't stand in the other queue.
But you won't. Once you're in Europe with Schengen, you'll just sail... there are no borders.
Yes, no...
So don't worry, so we've solved that. What else have you done?
What else?
Nick, it's an emotional attachment. I am European before I'm British. Right? I want to be European.
Why? What's the problem with being British?
That's my choice. I've no problem. I'm British as well. I like being British. I'm not so sure I won't like being English, but...
That's for another week.
That's another week. But I just believe that if I want to... I object to the fact that you can have taken away my European citizenship.
Can I say, and I completely agree with Greg on this one, and I find it so weird, Nick, the last sort of 3 weeks or whatever, you've always had some European topic just bashing Europe, and you're usually going on about me, going on and on about Europe, and you're doing
That's a fair point.
You are like one of these Trump supporters who are complaining that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. What are you moaning about? You won. We're leaving the EU. And so what if there is a system that allows those of us that wanted to stay to still be able to benefit? Well,
it's divisive.
But it is anyway,
yeah,
isn't it?
it is anyway.
The bottom line is the whole.
So your missus is a European citizen, and you're associate.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
that's nothing but.
Nick,
that allows for
you
choice.
just won. You only just won.
But you won.
48% of
But a
the
winner is a
people
winner.
who 48% of the people who voted wanted to remain European citizens.
Well,
That's the way the referendum
what
worked,
is your
Michelle.
problem with this?
Well, I think what you're talking about here, this is like, it's an associated EU citizenship. That's what they're talking about, allowing you to purchase. But to me, I understand kind of all perspectives of this, but it's not going to work. It's not going to get off the ground. It's kind of like, how can you be a citizen of a country that you're not affiliated to or a part of? And I understand what you're saying. You might resent all of us that voted Brexit. You know that I voted that way myself. But we all had a choice and we all could vote like that. So number one, I don't think this is going to happen for so many reasons, because you can't just... When I go on holiday, if I go on holiday, I have travel insurance to cover me.
Yeah, but at the moment in Europe, you have a European card that means that if you get ill whilst you're in Europe, you get healthcare that our health card covers.
Yes, because
so
I'm
then
in the EU,
the prices will
and
go
we're
up.
not going to be in the EU.
If everyone has to have insurance to travel anywhere outside the UK, it will go up. So however you do it, there's going to be an extra cost and extra barriers put in place. So whether you do it through this suggestion or whether you just do it through a standard visa and health insurance, it's going to change.
But you regarded yourself as European before you... No, hang on. You regarded yourself as European before British, and I found that fascinating. Why? Why are you like... Because it sounds like you're almost... not ashamed, but you're angry to be regarded as British as opposed to European.
No, I'm not angry to be regarded as British. I am British, but I'm also European.
But don't confuse the European. I love Europe, but don't confuse being European with the European Union.
The trouble is that's the emotional position that I'm in, and I think loads of people. I meet loads of people like me who feel that what you did. What you Brexiteers did is you stole our European citizenship.
No, we didn't steal anything. We exercised the
Which
choice
is why you shouldn't have a problem with this.
So why do you have a problem with it?
Because we won't... Look, chances are we won't have single market.
You want everybody to be like you.
Yeah.
Well, the world would be a better place. Whether I can attain it through the pledge is going to be damn hard work.
I think that if the world was like that, it would be mass emigration.
I think it just for me, it's just not going to get off the ground. It's a non-starter. I don't understand how you could even create that system.
It might well be. You might be right, but emotionally, I'm there.